So I did a thing. It was a cold December Tuesday and I'd just gotten word that my D&D game night planned for the next day had to be rescheduled due to the holidays. I was a little annoyed. We hadn't played it for a while and I was really looking forward to it. So instead of relegating myself to wannabe D&D on my precious game night, I decided I was going to play D&D, real D&D, on Wednesday just as I had planned. I decided I was going to do the one thing I thought I would never do. I was going to use Startplaying.Games. Welcome back, my homies. So I just finished my very first time ever paying to play D&D on Startplaying.Games, or any platform for that matter. On a whim, I signed up for Start Playing. I selected a one-shot and booked it. As I sat in a corner staring at a clock waiting for Wednesday night to come, it got me thinking about how Start Playing is a simple but powerful concept that has the ability to solve the hardest puzzle in D&D, scheduling. And thinking about D&D is fun. So today, let's talk about my experience start to finish in joining, selecting a game, booking that game, playing that game, and the aftermath of it. First, the sign up process was super easy. You can log in with your Google or Facebook account and create a new account using your email. Once your account is created, you can get to finding a game. And there are a lot of games to choose from, like a whole lot. Now, because I wanted to be in a game really quickly, I opted for games which already had seats filled. I was also looking for a one-shot, D&D 5e obviously, and I wanted it to be based in Faerun. It didn't take me long to narrow down the games using the filters available. It seems that games range between $5 and $35, with many being under $15. Now, value is subjective. The game that I chose was only $5 to join, and that to me seemed like a great value. Some games are considerably more expensive, up in the $35 price point, and at that amount, I would be apprehensive about jumping into a long-form campaign because if you factor out a 20-session campaign, that's a $700 financial commitment, which isn't nothing. But to me, and again, value is subjective, I'm pretty comfortable with a $10 to $15 price point for a long-form campaign. Now, don't come at me in the comments about how much time a DM puts into the campaign, both in-game and out-of-game. I am very aware of the workload placed on a DM intent on doing a great job. As a consumer, however, I place value on the services received, and to me, a pay-to-play game, especially in a long-form campaign, is comfortable between $10 and $15 per session. Higher than that is questionable. Everything is a sliding scale, though. I mean, how much would you pay to sit at Matt Mercer's table? A great deal more than $15, I would guess. Now, one thing I will point out here that they could do better while searching for games is that it's not immediately clear what the atmosphere of the table is. For example, I enjoy a drink or two while I play. I like crass humor and I curse like a sailor because I was a sailor. And 70% of successful D&D games or campaigns is the chemistry between the DM and the other players at the table collectively. Yet here on Start Playing, I can only see the About Me section of the DM, but I have no insight to the other players at the table. A public profile here would be handy so I could know a little bit about the people I was about to be questing across the lands of Faerun with. And I am not against calibrating my behavior to suit a more general audience, but because I don't know anything going into the game session, I have to calibrate it in real time, which seems to me to be error-prone. So after some back and forth, I settled on this one, Terror at Tribor, by a DM named Frank. And I chose this one because it hit the few of the marks that I was looking for. I like it being a one-shot, lower level to keep it simple and based in Faerun. I was even able to find a game that matched the time of evening I wanted to start. Another thing I like is this handy what to expect box with some good insight into how the DM intends to drive the gameplay. With a low price point of $5 for the seat at the table, it was a no-brainer. So I entered my payment info and confirmed the request to join. It was auto-accepted and that's it. I was scheduled to visit Tribor come tomorrow night. As I anxiously awaited the impending dance of the dice, I reviewed the requirements and created my character. It was a younger version of an NPC that is prominent in both the games I am currently DMing. Her name is Mira Shadowstep. She's a beautiful half-drow rogue who in my current games is operating as a bit of a cat burglar on a mission to reclaim a lost family heirloom in the city of Neverwinter. But for the game tomorrow night, she must be a level 2 rogue. So this is a younger Mira, a more innocent, less road-tested and weathered Mira. As a DM who intends to use this NPC, using her in an actual game would do great things for helping me run her in my regular games. I get to live in her skin, see her operate out in the wild as a true character. She will be more real. I will know her better, and there's value in that. So with Mirror created in D&D Beyond, I shot a message to Frank, my new DM, and provided him with a link because in his game post he mentioned that he wants to review characters pre-game. All that is left now is to wait for the game to start. So game time came when we all logged into the Discord and pulled up the audio chat. We used D&D Beyond for character sheets and Roll20 for VTT. And it's been a long time since I played in Roll20. Probably the first time I've played online without video chat. What struck me immediately was the entire group was high energy. They all showed up on time and highly motivated. The game itself was a fun little one-shot set in the town of Tribor. We started off already as a party, which is probably a good thing to help us get into the story rather than roleplay out the meeting. From there we spoke to multiple NPCs and built out the story of cattle being attacked, wives gone missing, and a political struggle in town. Geography dictated that we started down the political path, which didn't pan out, but gave us a pretty fun and at times funny encounter with some local ruffians who took on an unhealthy interest in the activities of ourselves in Tribor. The story goes on from there with the distraught husband, a band of politically motivated thugs, some skeletons that had to be cut down, and a very patient, ghostly apparition leading us down the correct path. In a final and very tactical confrontation deep in a moonlit cemetery. When the dust settles, a 1,000-year-old curse was lifted, and the people of Tribor now sing of our deeds, not a man who slew 3 pigs, as Mara would put it. So where do I stand on pay-for-play games? Previously, I would have swore against them. It's against the spirit of the game. It's against the community as a whole. After my experience in finding a game, scheduling it, meeting very, very interesting people, and experiencing a game with complete strangers who turned out to be an absolute banger of a group, with an absolute banger of a DM, I think differently of it. You see, I see it now more than simply paying a DM to DM. I see it as paying for the entire experience, which includes the other players at the table. It includes the scheduling. It includes all of the experience of easy D&D. The other players paid too. They're paying to be there and have the same motivations for a great game night. They read the same game description you read and came to the same conclusion that it sounded fun. There's varying price points. There's bound to be good and bad players and DMs, but for those of us who just want to get into a game without the hassle of trying to organize it ourselves organically, this is incredibly worthwhile. Where else can you think today, I want to be in a one-shot tomorrow and actually make it happen? If you are a DM who never gets to play, what's to stop you from being a DM on Startplaying.Games and then using the money you make from those games to pay to play in another game? Or maybe you make D&D videos on YouTube and your inspiration for those videos comes from when you play the game you love, so why not play it more? Or maybe you just want to play a game with other people who really want to play that game. Either way, give it a try. You can find a one-shot for $5 and jump into a game and decide for yourself just like I did. Comment if you do. I would love to hear how it went for you. And that's it for this time, homies. I left a link in the description for DM Frank's profile on Start Playing in case you want to check him out. Have a great week, a Merry Christmas, or whatever you're celebrating this time of year, and I will see you guys next time.